JD from New York here, and welcome to WWE Monday Night Raw review for last night's show, June 9th, 2014. Took place last night from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of the Beast Incarnate himself, the one in 21-1, my man Brock Lesnar. Now, before I get into that, guys, I do have a few shameless plugs like I always do before I begin my videos. If you guys missed any part of Off The Script this weekend, parts 1, 2, and 3, links will be down below. I got big news on Daniel Bryan, which you guys heard last night. I got big news on Seth Rollins and why his heel turn was done. So go and check that shit out. Parts 1, 2, and 3 in the description below. I also gave you guys Behind the Mic, episode number 6, if you guys missed that or if it conveniently missed your sub boxes here on YouTube. I did that. I talked about Dolph Ziggler, why the WWE is not pushing Dolph Ziggler, what the reasons might be behind that. I got a special clip from Chairshot Reality, Justin LaBar and Bryan on WrestleZone.com. They supported my channel this past weekend, which was unbelievable. An unbelievable honor by those guys. Thank you guys very much again. And if you guys missed any of that, go check that out. Links to everything that they do over there on WrestleZone.com, Chairshot Reality. Links are down below. I support it. I want you guys to be on board with me in supporting them because they are the #1 source on the internet for everything you need. You know I say it, but I say it just because I want to be funny and sarcastic. I love what I do here. I mean it. Out of the guys I watch on here, I'm pretty sure I'm top notch, okay? But as far as they go on a professional level, they're #1. No question. There's nobody on the internet that does it better than those guys, so go check them out. All right, guys. Monday Night Raw review. My notes here, I'm going to talk about the Daniel Bryan situation, and I'm not going to dwell too much on it. I'm going to pretty much repeat what I've been telling you guys for the last couple of weeks. You guys took to Twitter last night. You asked me, JD, what do you think about Daniel Bryan being stripped, finally, of the WWE Championship? How do you feel? Where do you think this is going? I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. I'm a huge Daniel Bryan supporter, okay? He's the one guy that I've been invested in since late last year, leading up until his monumental win at WrestleMania. I've been invested in the Daniel Bryan character, okay? But when it comes down to it, the WWE, from what I see, they wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. They wanted to keep the titles on Daniel Bryan. This is the last resort that the WWE wanted to go ahead and do, okay? They did not want any of this to happen. And they had plans for Daniel Bryan to move on to SummerSlam and fight Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. But his health is more important than the championship, okay? I want Daniel Bryan to come back healthy. I want Daniel Bryan to come back 100%. I want Daniel Bryan to come back and give the rest of his career to us because he loves the wrestling business. He's been doing it in the independent scene. He finally got the call up to the WWE. Nobody thought he would amount to anything, and now here he is. He was the WWE champion, and they stripped him of the belts last night, and it was a decision that needed to be made. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain why they should have kept the titles on him. It's the right thing to do for business. I'm not going to argue anyone over that point. But his health right now is more important than any titles in the WWE. I want him back 100%. And, Daniel Bryan is always going to be the #2 guy behind John Cena. There's no reason for him not to be. He was the #2 guy behind John Cena now, and he's going to be the #2 guy behind John Cena when he returns, whenever he returns. I would keep Daniel Bryan off TV for the remainder of his time away. I would have him come back in big fashion, plan something big. He was never defeated for these belts. So obviously you got something brewing there. You got a storyline ready and waiting for him when he comes back. He was never defeated. He was never pinned for these belts. So whoever wins these belts at Money in the Bank and goes on to be champion, he's going to have Daniel Bryan waiting for him when he returns because it's the logical thing to do. But his health is more important than anything right now. So kudos to the WWE for trying to play this out and wait it out, but we finally got closure. Daniel Bryan is not your WWE champion anymore. As far as the Money in the Bank goes now the Money in the Bank pay-per-view will be for the WWE Championship. There are rumors going around. I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't see how the WWE can do it since they're very thin on roster, that there was going to be 2 ladder matches at the pay-per-view. One for the title and then one for the briefcase. In a realistic world, I would love for that to happen because the Money in the Bank match creates such an environment that's exciting, and it only happens one time a year. I see why the WWE wanted to put it as its own pay-per-view, and it always delivers. The last couple of years that this pay-per-view has taken place, it always delivers. Whether it's just a great card or a great match for the Money in the Bank, it's always exciting to watch. It's definitely a can't-miss pay-per-view. But as far as we go right now, there's only one match planned. We got Del Rio, we got Orton, we got Sheamus, and we got Cesaro. Okay? Out of those 4 guys, 3 are logical contenders for the WWE Championship. Del Rio, I don't see playing in any role or any factor into this match simply because he hasn't been in anything important for quite some time now. But as far as who I think is going to be the new WWE Champion, I'm going to reserve my judgment until the entire field is laid out. Until I know who all 7 men are, that's when I will give you the right choice on who I think is going to be the WWE Champion. John Cena can still be entered in this thing. Bray Wyatt can still be entered in this thing, you know. So we're going to have to wait and see on who the WWE plans on making their next champion. And according to reports last night that I read on PW Insider, the WWE already has determined who their next champion is going to be. But I said on Twitter yesterday, Brock Lesnar should find his way into this Money in the Bank. Pay this man anything to come back. Pay him what he deserves. Have him wrestle on every Monday Night Raw. Okay? Every pay-per-view leading into SummerSlam. Have him be your champion. Brock Lesnar is the one guy that can rectify and fix this entire situation. Really. You know? As far as my opinion goes, I don't see anybody on the current roster right now ready for that next level. Everyone's telling me Cesaro. You know, Brock Lesnar was WWE champion 3 or 4 months into his WWE career. Listen, that was then, this is now. Okay, we're not going off what the WWE did back in the day when Brock Lesnar first came onto the scene. I don't think Cesaro is ready for a WWE championship reign. I just don't. There's nothing against the guy. I just don't think he's ready. You know, if you take a look at the guys in the match right now, Del Rio's not doing it. Orton, I would never give the title to Orton right now. Nobody enjoyed Orton's reign to begin with when he was champion back at the end of last year. Nobody. So why are you going to give it to him again? Stale and boring. Randy Orton's not stale and boring. It's just the WWE doesn't know how to book Randy Orton as champion and make him important on a weekly basis. Sheamus, I'm going to tell you what. Sheamus' match with Bad News Barrett last night, unbelievable. Okay, for a television match, that was great. Sheamus has been on a roll. I have absolutely nothing to say negatively about Sheamus. Okay, his character has been in line with where I want him to be. I just want him to go out there and kick ass and put on a great match. It's exactly what he's been doing. He's had a fucking hell of a match with Cesaro. He had a hell of a match last night with Bad News Barrett. And WWE is portraying Sheamus as a legit contender for the WWE Championship, which I like. Okay, I can see him feuding with Cesaro down the line. Easily. I can see him feuding with Wade Barrett in a possible unification match if the WWE wants to go down that road. Easily. I love the way Barrett and Sheamus work together. Last night's match was great. Great way to start the show off. Those two work unbelievable together. Near falls, excitement, the crowd was into it. Everything just came together last night for that match. And that's exactly what I wanted out of the WWE. When I said it at the Payback review that I did after the pay-per-view, WWE needs to do qualifying matches, which they have been doing, and it's the right choice. I don't want hand-picked guys going into the Money in the Bank. Triple H handpicked Randy Orton to be in the match simply because that's the character he portrays on TV, and he's the dick boss. So, obviously, Triple H is abusing his power. And you know what? I'm going to put my own guy in there. I'm going to put Randy Orton as my man in the Money in the Bank. He could take the week off. And then Randy Orton's photographed on Twitter laying in a fucking beach chair with a drink in his hand. So that was pretty entertaining. But qualifying matches, the right way to go. You know, you got to earn your way in. And that's exactly the type of match I want to see going into something like this. The field needs to be set. That's the kind of environment I want. I want guys battling it out for 15 minutes, showing me why they want to be in the Money in the Bank, and more importantly, showing me why they want the WWE Championship. You want it that badly? You want that WWE Championship? Show me. That's exactly the kind of attitude that match showed last night with Wade Barrett and Sheamus. Great match. Nothing bad to say about it. The other match we've seen, Cesaro versus RVD. RVD looks completely beaten down. I don't know where they're going with RVD, but Cesaro was obviously the logical choice. A lot of people were telling me on Twitter last night that RVD is more fit for the Money in the Bank because of his high-flying style, and that he's been in the match several times before. But listen, Cesaro is up and coming. Cesaro is the favorite right now out of the field of 4 that we have to potentially be the new WWE Champion. But like I said, I'm going to reserve my judgment for when the entire field is laid out. So that was a decent match as well, but RVD does look beaten down. Cesaro was the right choice here because he's the new guy, he's the fresh guy, he's up and coming, and obviously, you know, he's going to be the next guy to fall in line behind John Cena and Daniel Bryan. Hopefully they do turn him face, and it all makes sense when Brock Lesnar comes back. Paul Heyman did a nice tease last night with Brock Lesnar. I thought Brock Lesnar was legit going to come out because it was in Minnesota. I've been lobbying for Brock Lesnar to come back and be the WWE Champion. He did mention that Brock Lesnar is the next WWE Champion, which has me believe that they have something set up for him at SummerSlam regarding the WWE Championship. It's the only logical thing to do with Lesnar. You know, he took down the man at WrestleMania, The Undertaker, put that first blemish on The Undertaker's undefeated streak. There's only one place to go for Lesnar upon return, and that is the WWE Championship. That's why I say right now, Cesaro's time is not now. You're not going to give it to Orton. You're not going to give it to Sheamus. You're not going to give it to Cena. Nobody wants to see that. But, you know, the WWE may go the safe route and give it to Cena. I don't know. I don't even know if Cena's going to be in the match, but we'll see. But Lesnar right now, to me, is the one guy to pretty much level the playing field right now and just get the WWE out of this mess. It makes the most sense because of what he has done. You know, you're going to have Lesnar come back. He has to be WWE Champion. Now that Daniel Bryan is not the champion, Daniel Bryan's going to be out of the picture until he's healthy, until he returns, whenever that is. Lesnar is the right man right now. I know you got a lot of you guys were joking around CM Punk. CM Punk could come back. Listen, I don't want to hear nothing about CM Punk until CM Punk is on my TV. That's when I'll give you my opinion on what they should do with CM Punk. So that's that. Cesaro, Sheamus, Del Rio, and Orton. The field of 4 right now out of 7 so far for the Money in the Bank. Also, last night, we got another Rusev moment. You know, they're pushing Rusev, and they're doing too much of this Russian theme, and they're building off his Russian heritage. Listen, shut up. Get him in the ring. Have him destroy somebody. You know, let him do his little spiel at the end of the match and move on. You know, Lana comes out talking about Obama and Putin, and the one thing I didn't like last night, and they did it last week too, Lana is not introducing Rusev on her own. They're having Justin Roberts do it. I don't like that. Lana should take care of all the introductions regarding her man Rusev, because when Justin Roberts does it, it just loses its impact. And I said this on Twitter last night. So that's one thing I didn't like. Rusev squashed Zack Ryder. Absolutely nothing to report there. Zack Ryder is pretty much a lost cause, and Rusev fed on him again this week in a rematch from last week. Ryback and Curtis Axel versus Goldust and R-Truth. Obviously, you know what happened here. Goldust has his new partner this week, the random partner, R-Truth. They lose again, so this is building up to an eventual split of Cody Rhodes. Nothing there to report until the breakup actually happens. So that's pretty much that. We had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns interrupt 3MB. Okay, so, you know, I was a little taken back. 3MB's in the ring. You know, I was kind of surprised when Shield's music hit. So, obviously, you knew the Shield was just going to easily dispose of them. And Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns cut a great promo, okay? Roman Reigns handled the zone on the microphone, which I was pleasantly surprised by. Dean Ambrose, again, you know, excellent on the mic. I like the message that they got across. They pretty much said that, you know, Ambrose said that the Shield was untouchable and will go down in the history books as one of the greatest factions of all time, which you know, it's hard for anyone to disagree with him, okay? He said that they dominated everyone, including Evolution. He said that they had a cancer inside the group, and his name was Seth Rollins. He said that history is filled with people like Rollins, and that everyone knows someone exactly like him, which is absolutely true. I know people like Seth Rollins. You know people like Seth Rollins. He said that Rollins stabbed his brother in the back. Ambrose calmly spoke about how he will rearrange Seth Rollins' face. He also said that they were looking forward to what Rollins had to say. And then obviously Seth Rollins was shown in the back looking pretty good, man, I might say. In a suit, tie, and with his hair slicked back, tied up in a ponytail. It looked pretty damn good. So he was shown in the suit, watching the monitor in the back. Ambrose also said that they will listen to every word that Seth Rollins has to say later tonight, as an explanation to why he split from the Shield. And then from there, they will continue to beat the shit out of him, pretty much. They didn't say that, but they said something along those lines. Reigns then took over, said that Rollins committed the most unforgivable sin, and that he's the scum of the earth. There's things you don't do in life. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't piss in the wind. And you don't ever stab your brothers in the back. Then he mentioned Triple H and Randy Orton, that they were a part of the problem, and that he and Triple H will eventually have their own Game of Thrones moment. That is leading into SummerSlam. And I enjoyed the promo. It came off very well. Both men handled themselves very well on the microphone. I like the message that they conveyed to the WWE Universe. And then the only thing left is now Seth Rollins. Why did he do it? His explanation's coming up later in the show. WWE Tag Team Champions, Uso Brothers versus Damien Sandow and Fandango. I have no words. I'm not even going to talk about it. I joked last night in a sarcastic way, hey, at least Damien Sandow is coming out on TV and getting TV time, right? He comes out in, I don't know, a skin-tight, clear, white outfit. I don't know what color it was. Skin color. Fucking twirling a baton or whatever the hell he's doing. Streamers. Man's a lost cause. I don't understand it. I don't want to talk about it because I don't have any clue as to why the WWE is doing what they're doing. The only logical thing for me to think of is that some higher up in the WWE gets a kick out of embarrassing Damien Sandow, so he's going to have him come out on a weekly basis and just embarrass himself. I got no words. Usos get the win over Fandango and Damien Sandow. Bo Dallas versus Xavier Woods. Nobody cared because Bo Dallas is going up against somebody that absolutely doesn't get any TV time on Monday Night Raw. So how are we supposed to care? Bo Dallas gets the win over Xavier Woods. Cesaro versus Rob Van Dam. I mentioned that. Cesaro moves on to Money in the Bank. RVD looks beaten down. Cesaro the right choice to go into Money in the Bank. We had Seth Rollins come out and conduct an interview with Michael Cole. Now, I was surprised Michael Cole did the interview and not, and Triple H and Randy Orton weren't there with him. WWE sent him out there on his own, which is surprising because we really haven't seen Seth Rollins handle the microphone on such a big stage after such a big moment. He's always been with Ambrose. He's always been with Reigns. Last week he was showing with Triple H and Randy Orton. Now he's on his own. The explanation as to why he did what he did last week to the Shield. So what happened last week wasn't a big deal. That he was doing what was best for business. My business. He went into business for himself. Rollins took credit for creating the Shield. You don't think I had the right to destroy my own creation? He said Dean Ambrose is a lunatic who would be face down in a ditch if he were left to his own devices. Rollins brought up the Golden Boy Roman Reigns, which I was, kind of laughing about, chuckling about, because that's the way WWE thinks about Roman Reigns. He's the new Golden Boy in the WWE. You'll never see anger or fury like you see in a man like Roman Reigns. However, he said of Reigns is nothing if he doesn't have Seth Rollins there to harness that anger and control it. They owe me every ounce of success they ever achieved. Ambrose and Reigns were shown watching the promo on a backstage monitor. Rollins said he took the Shield as high as they could go when they beat Evolution, clean sweep at Payback. Rollins also said that he learned from Evolution that to be a success in this business, you have to evolve, you have to adapt. The fans chanted, "You sold out," to Seth Rollins, which was quite fitting. Seth Rollins, who was standing at this point in the middle of the ring, said that he brought into Evolution, he bought into the evolution of Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins pretty much saying that he went about this because he went into business for himself. He's taking control of his own career. Seth Rollins, is going into business for himself pretty much. That's what he said. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's a decent explanation, but they left a lot of loose ends there. Not everything is coming together completely. Okay? Rollins also said it took a lot of guts to do what he did last week, and everyone is fixated on how he stabbed his brothers in the back. To me, they were just business partners, and I severed business relationships. Rollins said for 2 years he put his fist out and said, believe in the Shield. He said everyone better start believing in him. Then Rollins recalled the Shield saying they would let him speak his piece and then kick the hell out of him. Well, I said my piece. I like the way Seth Rollins came off in the interview. Obviously, it needs to be worked on a little bit more. He's not completely, the number one guy on the microphone as of right now, but it's a work in progress, and it's pretty damn good. I'm impressed. I like the way Seth Rollins carried himself. The explanation is a little bit generic, a little bit run-of-the-mill, average for why he did what he did. But I really don't see anywhere WWE can go from there. That was the most, I'm going to say, I use the word logical a lot in this review. It's the most logical thing for the WWE to do right now. So I don't have any problem with it. I like the way Seth Rollins handled himself. I like the way he looked. Everyone was joking around. What is Seth Rollins going to wear? What kind of music is he going to come out to? Came out in a suit and tie. At the end of the show last night, he was tieless, button-down shirt, black suit, hair slicked back, looked pretty good. And his music is awesome. It's the exact music I'd see Seth Rollins coming out to. Will Seth Rollins get over as a heel? That remains to be seen. How is he going to convey that into the ring and against his opponents? We'll find out. We don't know. WWE really needs to build Seth Rollins up, if they're serious about this, to be that cutthroat, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to do what I have to do, whatever it is, to get over and win. I'm in business for myself. That's exactly the attitude he needs to have. Fuck everybody else. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm going to make sure I'm number one. That's exactly the way they got to go for that if they want to build him up as a credible heel and move on with this new Seth Rollins moving into the future. Obviously, that set up a six-man tag. The Shield and the Wyatts were announced beforehand by Triple H. So obviously, the only logical choice here, if you're going to have Bray Wyatt and then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in the match, obviously the only choice here was to have John Cena help the Shield out. I knew that was going to be, I joked around that John Cena was going to be the man to help the Shield. Everyone's like, oh, John Cena's not going to join the Shield. Yeah, he's going to join the Shield on Monday Night Raw and help them beat the Wyatts. And that's exactly what happened. John Cena's not going to legit join the Shield as a full-fledged member. But that's what happened there. And the match was alright. I mean, Minnesota got treated to Elimination Chamber, the Wyatts, and the Shield in that unbelievable match of the year candidate. So this match kind of seemed, run-of-the-mill. It was still a decent wrestling match, a decent TV main event. Nothing to go into school tomorrow and talk about. Nothing to go into work and talk about. Oh my God, did you see that main event? It was a decent wrestling main event. The baby faces went over. The Wyatts lost. Roman Reigns got over with his Superman punch. John Cena helped the Shield out, looked good in a winning fashion. So there's really nothing, exciting going on there. Nothing really to talk about. It was just a nicely set up main event that, previous to that, the events of that, whatever happened in the night set up the match. So really nothing, out of the ordinary happened there. And then that's pretty much it, guys. Jack Swagger beat Santino Marella. Nothing going on there. Paige defeated Alicia Fox with Oksana. It is what it is, man. They're not doing anything right by Paige. She's 22 years old, and they're putting more effort into getting Alicia Fox over on TV with her silly antics than building Paige's character. That's the one downfall there. WWE really needs to invest in Paige's character a little bit more. And that's it, guys. I mean, it is what it is. The show had some important moments, but it kind of felt boring at times. It kind of felt run-of-the-mill average, even though some of the points that were made last night were important leading into Money in the Bank. It still seemed like a very flat show. But we got Daniel Bryan as now the ex-WWE champion, vacated titles. He's no longer champion. You got Cesaro. You got, what's his name? Sheamus, Del Rio, and Randy Orton as contestants in the Money in the Bank match, or participants in the Money in the Bank match. And we'll find out as the weeks progress who's going to be the remaining guys filling out that field. So we'll find out what's going on there. Like I always said, I think Bray Wyatt is my choice if he's in the match. I do see Bray Wyatt and John Cena eventually getting into that match. If it was up to me, I'd have Brock Lesnar just come out and destroy everybody. I'll talk about that probably on Off the Script, guys. I'm sure I'll have some rumors on Brock Lesnar later on in the week. But if you guys did enjoy this Monday Night Raw review, please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below in the comments after last night's show. What did you think about Daniel Bryan being stripped? Who do you see winning Money in the Bank? Let me know. And I'll see you guys on Friday for Off the Script, guys. Take care. Have a great Monday. And I'll see you guys this weekend. Take care.